First off, how you doing today, man?
Good, how are you?
Can't complain, man. So, there's always going to be a lot of buzz with Berlanga whenever he fights with the whole 16 knockouts in a row in the first round. His last 3 went decision. Does a part of you feel like the whole 16 first-round knockouts probably was a little bit bad for his development, but helpful for his star power?
Definitely helpful for star power. Can't regret that happened because it really got him into the public eye. I don't think so. I think the expectations are way too high for Edgar. If he doesn't knock somebody out, everybody says it's a failure. Meanwhile, last week you had Devin Haney win a big fight with just a jab, and everybody said he put on a masterful performance. So I think just the expectations are way too high for Edgar. I don't think he needs a knockout this weekend. I just think he needs to look good and dominate, and he'll be in good standing.
So how do you kind of simmer down those expectations? Because every time he fights, he walks to the ring with Fat Joe. There's like 9 million celebrities in the crowd, man, and he sells out now. So
Right.
It's like, how do you kind of bring down those expectations because they are so high?
You can't control the expectations of the public. You just have to do your best when you go in the ring and keep winning. And you keep winning, and you're going to get the big fights. We're looking to get a Connolly fight or another big fight probably within the next year and a half. And between now and then, you just got to win and look good doing it.
Now, you mentioned Canelo. I know that's a guy that Edgar wanted to fight for like a really long time. Well, at least was saying that, hey, that's a future really big fight. Was a part of him, and you would know, was a part of Edgar kind of like, damn, I'm mad that he lost because that could have been me in there?
No, because if Canelo beats Triple G in a couple of months, everything will be forgotten. That's the way boxing is. Everybody looks at your last performance, so that's still a huge fight. Edgar's definitely not ready for that fight yet. He's still a young kid. He's still developing, but I'm hoping in the next 18 to 24 months, he'll be ready for a mega fight.
So if he's not ready for Canelo, do you think he is ready for a guy like David Benavidez, even though people are saying he's probably the best in the division? But do you think he's probably not ready for that step?
He's not ready for that yet, but that's understandable. He's only had 3 fights that went longer than the first round. A lot of these other guys have been developing for the last 7 or 8 years. My guy's young. I know Benavidez is young as well, but he has a lot of experience. He turned pro at a much earlier age, has a lot more rounds under his belt. So once Edgar gets that type of experience, we'll look to step up.
Now, granted, I know you want to simmer down the expectations, but last time I checked, Edgar's ranked, he's starting to get ranked pretty high, and, a lot of sanctioning bodies. When it gets to a point when maybe not this fight or the next fight, but maybe the following fight where sanctioning bodies are just saying, hey, we want to put you in a title eliminator. Is there something that you can do personally to say, hey, we're not ready for that yet, and kind of push it to the side for the time being?
Well, Edgar sells. Edgar's a star, so we can take it at any pace we want. So we're never going to be forced into anything. We have to see how he looks Saturday night, see how his progression is, and we'll go from there.
How did you kind of rank his performance against Steve Rose, man?
It wasn't his best performance. He knows that. There were a lot of things going on I don't want to talk about. He's in a much better frame of mind this time. We're ahead of the schedule on losing the weight. He's in much better shape than he is last time, and he's better mentally. So all in all, I think we're in much better shape going into this fight. We're going to have to be, because I think Angulo is a much better fighter and much tougher than Steve Rolfe. So we're going to have to be at our best to look good on Saturday.
Speaking of Angulo, he only lost twice, and that was to to Benavidez and Gilberto Ramirez, and he got knocked out by Benavidez in the 10th round, I believe. So he's a pretty durable guy, man. So what is it about him where he's just like, hey, Berlanga, I feel like you're going to beat him, but hey, you got to watch out for this, and this when you're fighting Angulo?
Yeah, he's a dangerous guy. The Benavidez stoppage, that was more of a mercy stoppage. He wasn't really hurt. He was just getting pounded on. So I think his corner knew victory was sort of out of the grasp. So they just saved him for another day. But in my eyes, he's never really been knocked out. So it's going to be a tough fight. That's what I'm saying. A knockout isn't needed. As long as Edgar looks good winning, we're in good shape.
Gotcha. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.